Hello everyone, and welcome to Deck by Numbers, where we have fun with math and magic. This is a short, informative video taking a look at the numbers and how we arrive at them. To start off, we'll be looking at a few basic creature-based statistics. First up is power on board and toughness on board. Now this applies to both you and your opponent, and is fairly simple. It's just the sum total of power or toughness on board for each given player. Moving on from that, we'll be looking at attacking advantage and defensive advantage. Now these are a little more complicated, as they take into account keyword abilities such as trample and flying. The current formula for attacking advantage is base power plus counters plus additive modifiers plus toughness divided by 2 times 1 plus multiplicative modifiers for each creature. Total attacking advantage is the sum of this formula for each creature. So, for instance, let's take Vorinclex. 4 colorless and 2 green for a 6/6 haste, trample, annoyance. Now on the face, it has 6 power on board and 6 toughness on board, but that doesn't tell the whole story here. Calculations will be in flux as more games are played, of course, but to start with, trample has the following multiplicative attacking modifier. Power minus 1 divided by 2 times 0.2. This means, with creatures that have 1 power or less, trample doesn't give them any advantage. For consistency, any power less than 1 is 0 for obvious reasons. However, in Vorinclex's case, trample gives it a multiplicative attacking modifier of 0.5. Haste gives an additive modifier of 0.25, but only on the turn haste is active. Therefore, Vorinclex's total attacking advantage on the turn it is played is 6 plus 0.25 plus 3 times 1 plus 0.5, which gives us a total of 13.6875 on its initial turn and 13.5 afterwards, which tells us what we already know. The Vorinclex is a kill on sight card. This doesn't take into account its passive ability, which can shut down a game. Typically, kill on sight cards will be anything with an attacking advantage over 10. The current formula for defensive advantage is toughness plus power plus counters plus additive modifiers times 1 plus multiplicative modifiers. For defensive advantage, we'll take something small, such as Tajuro Blightblade. 1/1 for a green, not impressive. However, Death Touch keyword makes it very formidable. From an attacking standpoint, Death Touch gives an additive modifier of 0.5. Mainly because the defending player can simply choose not to block it. Defensively, however, Death Touch gives a multiplicative modifier of 2. This is a result of players being hesitant to lose their big buff dudes to tiny guys with Death Touch. So, Tajuro Blightblade's defensive advantage will be 1 plus 1 times 2. This gives it a defensive advantage of 4. These formulas do not account for individual blocking and are merely a tool for seeing the state of a game. Beyond that, we'll look at card advantage. This is fairly simple. Formula for card advantage is cards drawn plus cards with flashback and graveyard plus cards returned from graveyard plus 1.2 times the amount of scries you've taken minus the number of cards milled minus discarded cards. From this number, you subtract the same formula that your opponent has gone through. A negative card advantage means your opponent is ahead on cards, and a positive means you are. The numbers discussed here will be displayed on each side of the screen, with my numbers on the left and the opponent's numbers on the right. And we'll also go through a statistics wrap-up after each game. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the games.